Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Brave Kids Art Club. My name is Brad, and I am so excited to draw with you guys today. And each and every single week we get a chance to do this, but it is always the highlight of my week. And before we get started, I need you to do one teensy tiny little thing for me. Could you tell your parents thank you? Thank you for sending photos of your artwork and sharing it with me. It always makes my day when I get a chance to see your artwork. You guys are so talented. Your parents are so proud of you, and they are so excited to show it off. So thank you. I guess I'm thanking you as well for drawing it, and then thank your parents for sending that to me and sharing it because they're just so proud of what you guys do. You guys are amazing artists. And speaking of that, at the very end of this episode, I'm going to be showcasing some of your artwork. So each and every week, pay attention for that. At the very end, I'll be showcasing some of your amazing artwork. And if you want to submit yours and you haven't done it yet, all you have to do is just tag us on Instagram at Brave Kids Art Club, or you can just send them directly through email or direct message, and that way I get a chance to see them. All right, so let's talk about what we're gonna draw today. Today we're gonna be drawing a magic hat with a little white rabbit popping out of it. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun, but let's make sure first we have all of our tools to be ready to start. All right, so make sure you have a nice clean sheet of paper. You're also gonna need a pencil to do our sketching. And then after we're done sketching and we're comfortable with what it looks like, we're gonna finalize it with a dark marker or a pen as an outline. And then we're gonna go back and erase all of the pencil underneath there. So make sure you have an eraser handy. And when we're sketching, you're gonna make mistakes, and that's totally fine. That's part of the process. So, and then at the very, very end, we're gonna do some coloring. And this is one of my favorite parts. And so I have tons of markers. Maybe you're saying, I don't have lots of markers like that. Well, it doesn't matter. And also, if you wanna use crayons or paint or whatever else you wanna do, you can do that as well. All right, well, let's go ahead and start sketching. Now, I have my page vertical because I want to make sure I have enough room for the ears of my rabbit popping out of the top of our top hat, which was a nice fancy hat back in the day. That was pretty tall, and a lot of magicians wore them. So let's go ahead and start with an oval. We're going to do an oval shape right around the middle, near the middle, right around here. And it's going to be a really squished oval, which is, I guess, a really squished circle, like that. And then we're gonna draw really lightly. Don't have to draw too hard because we're gonna want to erase some of this stuff. And it's very hard to erase if you press too hard into the paper where it doesn't come out. Now, let's go ahead and draw a little curve right here. We're gonna draw a little curve right here, like this. And one over here. Now, if you don't want to do a curve, this is the hat. It's gonna be upside down. And you don't have to have it curved. You can have it straight if you'd rather. There's lots of different styles of hats. I just think it looks maybe a little bit more interesting like this for what I'm doing. And then I'm also going to do a little curve here at the end. Now, if I did it flat, and I did it flat over here, it'd be like looking at the hat straight on. But we're going to be looking at it kind of tilted, so it's going to have a little bit more shape to it. So let's add this little curve at the bottom. That feels pretty nice. Nice little top hat there. And then, of course, we need to put a rabbit in there. So let's get our rabbit. We're gonna draw kind of an oval shape coming out of our hat here. Remember, draw nice and light. Don't draw too hard. Right about there. That feels pretty good. It's almost like a little oval's like coming out of the hat. If you wanna make it look like it's coming out of the hat, we gotta draw another little smaller oval, just like we did here, like the rest of the hat. We're gonna draw one right here, just a little bit thinner and a little bit smaller. So we're gonna kind of do that. There we are. So this way we can have it look like it's coming out of the hat, which is the trick, right? The magician pulls a rabbit right out of their hat, a live rabbit out of their hat, which is a pretty cool trick. All right, so now we can just start erasing a little bit at a time. It helps when we do that as we're going along, just so you don't get lost in all the different lines that you're making, which sometimes I get lost. So this is mostly for me. All right, so now we're gonna draw another, I guess this is just a bunch of ovals. We're gonna draw one more oval right up here. Oh, right here. There we go, at an angle. So we're like a little egg shape. We're gonna draw it lightly because we're trying to still figure out if this is the right spot for it. And if we don't want to, we probably want to change the shape a little bit more custom. This is just kind of like your your guide, right? This is where we're going to start, and then you can customize the shape however you want later. But again, let's go ahead and erase some things before we get too far. Let's erase that part in the middle, and maybe even this part right here, just a portion of it. I don't think you can you see that? So I just kind of went right up to about there. There we are. So this is going to be the rabbit's head. All right, so now let's go ahead and do the ears, because that's the last part we want to make sure that fits on our page here, because we might have to change. And if you start drawing it and you find that the head's way up here already, that's okay. We can just, you can make ears that flop down. Maybe it's got floppy ears. That's totally fine. You can draw your ears however you'd like to draw them. So I'm going to have my bunny ears or rabbit ears come off like this. And just curve them, and they're going to get a little bit smaller as they come down here on the top of their head. There you go. I got enough room for that. And then I'm going to draw another one maybe just bent over. Since I don't have a lot of room up here, let's just say I'm going to go like this. Like that. Yeah, just give it a little bit of character. Like it's got one little bent ear. That'd be kind of cute. And maybe we'll just do like a little curve or a line or however you want to do that. Maybe you want your ears just big and floppy right over here. That's fine. Do whatever you want. Whatever you think would look best for your drawing. That's the fun part about drawing, right? Is that you get to draw them however you want. You can make a bunny look like whatever. Okay, well, I like that. Looks pretty nice. I drew the extra little line in there because that's going to be the inside of the ear. So let me do this. I'm going to erase this part because this is going to be in the front. That one's going to be in the back. So you'll see the head line goes over it. And the ones in the front, you got to erase that. Make sure it's in the front. And then I'm going to add just like the little, I'm going to repeat the same shape inside of it, just a little bit smaller. And that'll be the inside of the ear. Oh, it's coming along. All right, next up. I know what we can, I kind of looking at this, and this is why we draw lightly. And I'm thinking I'm going to have this a little bit closer in. I don't want that chubby of a rabbit. There we go. I think that looks a little bit better. Looks like it fits in the hat a little bit better too. Alrighty, now we're going to go ahead and draw the eyeball. It's one big circle. I'm going to draw it right up here. Ooh. Now, if you need help drawing circles, you can get something that's round and just trace around it. Or you could just struggle like I do and just draw the circle a million times until it looks like the right size. There we go. I like that. Nice big eyeball. And we'll have them looking over here like it knows something. It knows the trick. It's like, I know how this trick was done. There we are. What a cute little rabbit. Okay, now we need to draw the little paws or feet or whatever you call rabbit appendages, whatever those are at the end. I guess you could buy a rabbit's foot as that's lucky, right? A rabbit's foot. We're gonna call them feet. Little rabbit feet. And we're gonna do the little ovals again. More ovals. There we go. We're gonna draw a little oval right there for a little paw. Foot, paw. Now I'm confusing myself. What do you call it, you guys? What do we call it? Have any of you ever watched my other rabbit episode? I need to go back and review that one. Clearly. All right, look at those cute little things on their arms. And we're going to do little lines here. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's erase everything in the middle because these are going to be on top. Easy way just to look like it's popping right out of the top hat. So I'm going to draw a few more details on here, and you can follow along. But as I'm drawing them, I'm going to tell you a little bit about why they use rabbits and maybe why we had top hats for magicians. Well, let's start with the top hat. So magicians a lot of times had top hats back in the day because back in like the 19th century, there was a whole lot of magicians. It was getting really popular to be a magician and to put on shows. And when they put on these shows, you know, they were at nicer places, nicer theaters and things. And their clothing at that time, wearing nice clothing for a theater was, you know, for men to wear top hats. And so a lot of times they would use top hats and make them a part of their act, their magic show. Oh, what I'm doing right here is I want to make sure it doesn't kind of go past those spots right there, just because it wouldn't make sense with the hat if the hole in the middle was bigger than the outside. So I'm just doing that little thing right there. But yeah, so the show, they would wear these top hats, and it was convenient because they could hide all sorts of things in them. And same thing with their tuxes, which are really, really nice suits that they had on. Lots of different layers. They could hide lots of tricks in them, and do a lot of their magic tricks through them. So top hats were very, very popular, and it's become kind of a symbol for magic just because that was so popular at the time. And the rabbit was something that was easy to hide. They're really quiet. They're really nice. Little animals are great little pets, and they could keep them hidden for the trick, and they wouldn't be making a lot of noise. And they're really furry, so that when they came out of the hat, they were compressed down, so they looked a lot bigger. Especially when you pulled them out by the ears, the really tall ears and the long legs. When they stretched out, they pulled them out. It looked like there was no way it could fit in that hat. So it even, it made the trick that much better, or the illusion that much better. So that's why they use rabbits. Rabbits were easy to find, really nice. They worked really, really well for the magicians. And the white ones, especially the white ones, were great because they had the black suit on and the black hat typically. And so the white popped right off there. There's a lot of contrast. You could see it real easily from out in the crowd, and you could see that rabbit. It's pretty cool, huh? I didn't really know that. The one thing that I thought actually was the most interesting, let's add a few whiskers here while I'm talking. The most interesting things that I learned was that back in the day when the magicians would use them for their act, it actually made a little bit more money for them, because if kids were around, they could actually they could have the parents pay for the kids to pet the rabbit as well. So after they did their magic trick, they went in and paid to watch the magic, and they could also pay to pet it. So it was like a little petting zoo. And rabbits are so sweet and cuddly and cute. It was probably really successful for them. All right, well, I really like this. Now, maybe the only thing, if you wanted to add something to this, maybe we'll add little lines here to kind of show where their arms are. But if you wanted to add something else, just one more little thing to this, I might just add a little magic wand here, the magician's wand, because it's really easy to add and it makes it look just that much more interesting. Sometimes it helps you understand what you're looking at when you give it just a few more little details. We'll draw a little line right there. It's going to go on the top, so I'm going to erase everything behind it. And there we go. It's going to be a little magician's wand right there, right next to it. Very easy to add, but makes it kind of fun. So add whatever else you want to this in the sketch. Get it right where you want it. And then you got to go through and start blocking things out with your dark marker or pen, whatever you have. I have a Sharpie that I'm using, and start doing your outlines. And then after we do our outlines, it'll be easy for us just to go through and erase all the pencil underneath, which allows us to do our coloring. We're basically making our very own coloring book, or a coloring page, I should say. There we go. But magicians love using animals in their acts. They always have. They've done, little stuff like mice that are really easy to handle and to get, or rabbits, or even snakes. The craziest ones, like the most dangerous and the most exotic, I feel like, are the tigers and elephants. They've done all sorts of magic with different animals. Do you like watching magic shows? I love watching magic shows. I think they're so amazing to see how these magicians are really, really talented, aren't they? It is very, very fun to watch. I don't think I've ever seen a magician pull a rabbit out of a hat. I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think it's as common anymore. Okay, well, I'm going to finish doing this, the outlines here, and then I'm going to go through, like I said, once I'm done, take any eraser you want and erase all the pencil from underneath. That just cleans it up and makes it easier for you to color in, and just cleans up your whole page. And then we'll, once I'm done erasing and outlining, I'll go ahead and add my color. We'll just catch up right after done coloring. piece. Color in. Oh, maybe this little piece right here we gotta erase. Look at that little rabbit in there. How did yours turn out? Awesome. Well, this one was really, really fun for me. I love that we got to draw multiple things, right? We got to draw the hat, the rabbit, and the little wand on there to make this just a fun little drawing. So, well, I love my little rabbit friend. I didn't come up with a name. What's a good? Houdini. I'm going to name it after a really famous magician. And we're going to name our little rabbit Houdini. So before we go though, let's make sure that we sign our work. We're really proud of what we made. Now I'm kind of running out of room over here, so maybe I'll do it on the left-hand side this time. I'll put my initials. Thanks again for watching. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. If you guys really like this video, please drop it a like. That always helps. And it was fun drawing with you today. So remember, be brave, be creative, but most importantly, be you. Alrighty, we'll see you guys next time.